Hi there, Scorpio. Here is your spread that we're just about to delve into and explore further. We're kind of ass first into this one because I'm showing you the spread after I've done your reading at the beginning of the video. So hope you enjoy, and we'll see you in the reading. Hi, Scorpio. We're doing your weekly read. We're doing a 9-card spread for the week of Sunday, August 17th. Please check the description box for everything you need to know, including where you can go to find out your rising moon and Venus sign and get a comprehensive chart done. My name is Ashley Dawn Watson. We're using the Botticelli Tarot this week. Been doing tarot since I was 14 years old, so that's like 26 years. In any event, let's get started for you. In September, we'll be doing, September monthly readings will be up during this week and a little bit into the next, maybe, we'll see. But yeah, and I do have a TikTok, but you have to like have 5 intense news stories about you in order to get a blue check mark there, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. Yeah, let's see what we have. Flippers and jumpers only for a maximum of 3. Just for fairness for you, let's get started. Scorpio. I almost said Sagittarius. You could be a Sagittarius, Scorpio, cusp individual, but let's do it. Let's do it to it. In the past for you, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What do we have? We're going to try and do this in 10 minutes or less. They're kind of averaging about 12 minutes. It's as fast as I can go for 9 cards. Okay, we got 2 right away to face down, and 1 more for you for the past. That was easy. Okay, so what do we have for you? We have the 2 of Swords in the reverse with the Death card and the Emperor. So you are connecting with the self here. The 2 of Swords in the reverse, taking the blindfold off in some regard. No longer wrestling with the self, but also no longer deciding to be at an impasse or a fork in the road without moving anywhere. Not deciding to engage in willful blindness about an ending of some sort. Remember, with endings, there are new beginnings, and there's also transformation inherent in this card. You're connecting with the self to examine where that is the case, no longer deciding to turn a blind eye to the ending. And where you can transform something into something new for yourself. With that, you are, again, it's something that you're bringing on, and we see you being empowered in that decision with the Emperor card here, Aries energy. This could be something that you've been ruminating on since Aries season or since your last birthday. But this is the firm-handed leader, somebody who leads with confidence as opposed to fear, and somebody who's very decisive in their action that they take moving forward. So it looks to be that there's something that you're deciding to end from an extremely confident space, having made that decision with careful forethought and understanding the implications of that decision quite strongly, because you had decided that you weren't going to sit at a fork in the road with that blindfold on and your hands kind of crossed behind in front of you with the swords in your hands. In the present energy, what do we have for you, Scorpio? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I was just, I was listening to music in between when I was encoding stuff for the previous read. And 7 Rings came up, and, I have like a million songs that I have on, not a million songs, I have like 4,500 songs that I have on shuffle. And 7 Rings by Ariana Grande was up. Somebody that is associated with this was greedy or wants everything. 7 could be a number that's important, but there's... I want it, I got it, but somebody who's really about getting what they want, and maybe you were looking at not necessarily giving them what they want, or maybe it was that they were constantly like, gimme, 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 gimme. I don't know. Ending that relationship with somebody who was consistently in that space, I don't know. The rings could be important on that, but I can't really say for certain. You have cards that are crossing. You had this card was crossing that one. This was crossing again. This was crossing that, but we're not kind of working in that order here. Okay. So what we have in your current energy? Magician in the upright, 2 wands in the upright. Okay. You're kind of sitting at a crossroads again in the future, but it's a passionate crossroads. You've got some manifestation that you're going into during Virgo season. This week we're going to be moving from Leo season into Virgo season midweek about. And here with it you have a manifestation, something where you are actively mastering the self in order to master the elements, and a really fancy word that we use for that you might be hearing on the internet constantly is manifestation. And really what that is it's taking action from a place where you know yourself, and so you can work with energy a lot more efficiently and effectively. Yeah, I just got that ringing in my ears. There's something about it where you're kind of holding off and where you know you have to delay and you have to wait. With it, we have Piscean energy, so something that you might be keeping secret, you might be holding back on because you're waiting until the time is right. But this is emotional action that you'd like to carry out towards somebody that you're holding off on. You're waiting on it. You're waiting to kind of survey the land. You're reading the room, so to speak, before you take that romantic action moving forward. This is somebody who's a very poetic knight in shining armor type figure. He likes to come in and rescue people, but he's also extremely musical, poetic, romantic guy. So the action that he takes is very, oh, save you, or somebody who speaks through music and poetry and really takes the time to take the action from a space of like it's a watery energy, and the action is very sweet. But again, because we have that Two of Wands there, there's some sense of holding off and waiting until the time is right, biding my time until the time is right. Understanding how you do have a security within yourself, and know that within yourself you have the ability to act when the time is right, but it's also when will it be received correctly. Doesn't necessarily have to be emotional action that you're taking towards somebody in matters of the heart necessarily, because matters of from a romantic space, it could also be family or friends or that kind of thing. But it feels here like there's something where it's like, I know myself, I know how I feel, I know how I can work with the elements, but I'm holding off and I'm waiting and I'm surveying things for myself before I move forward and take this action, because I want to make the right decision. I want to be confident in the endings that are taking place or that have taken place, and there's also something about being confident and waiting to transform something that has ended into the future for you, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What do we have? Okay, I almost want to put that here. There's a gift. There's a gift. Okay, I'm putting it there. I'm doing that on purpose because it landed that way. Sorry, guys. Everything in its right place. Yeah, okay. Everything in its right place. Okay, Libra had this too. There's somebody who's jealous about this. Jealous, angry, irrational, volatile, Aries energy. Could be during Libra season that this occurs, because this is future oriented. Sorry, I hate when people mistake that word. But future oriented, the Queen of Wands in the reverse is right underneath that Magician. There's something about your manifestation, your mastering yourself, being confident in yourself and able to manipulate energy appropriately, that they are very envious of. And they could be looking over at you being able to hold off and wait until the time is right on something. And they're very upset about it. They're upset that you have self-worth on your side as well. That's a part of mastering the self and knowing when to hold off. And it's actually one of that's a huge part of your skill set. It's one of your gold stars, you know, one of your shining, redeeming qualities is the fact that you understand when to hold off on offering your cup, so to speak, as opposed to just letting anybody drink from it. You are the King of Cups, right? And so let's just talk about that for a hot minute. You know, that is a part of mastering the self. If we look at it from this is like saying, King of Cups, I've mastered the self to the extent of which I understand, especially with this Nine of Cups underneath it, underneath this one, which we have. But I'll show you the spread at the beginning, right? Because that's what I'm doing. To be able to say, I have mastered myself to the extent that I am able to hold off on offering my cup, my heart, my emotional energy, my waters, until I understand the time is right. And that's because I recognize my worth. Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is about personal fulfillment, having left behind 8 cups of emotional fulfillment in search of the 9th, because we recognize our self-worth. And when we recognize our self-worth, we can go in search of somebody else who does the same, right? But it's the fact that you can hold off on your waters and understand when it's appropriate to offer your waters to somebody else, and when you should hold back from doing so, refrain from doing so. Somebody's quite envious of that. Something bothers somebody about the fact that you can do that, but they're also bothered by the fact that you're holding off. It's like they can see your plan for this week. They can see that you're holding off on offering romantic energy towards somebody, you're riding in towards somebody on that white horse. They're angry about it. They're angry that you have self-worth and that you have a wish of emotional fulfillment on the horizon. There is here with this the Page of Wands. I'm sorry, I don't know why I said the Wands. Pentacles. It's a gift, an offering of a timepiece, a peace offering. Interesting, because on the TikTok, one card for Wednesday, I think that you had the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. Here you have it in the upright, but it's next week or in the future in some place. But it's as if you have, and it'll be during Libra season, a gift that you're offering to somebody. I think this is tied to, because it's right directly underneath, and it actually fell on the Knight of Cups. It's as if you are offering somebody a gift of a timepiece or a peace offering, or for what it's worth, or something that represents their worth. It's a token that represents their worth, but it's also a token of, it's something small, but it represents, here, let me just, it's something small, but it represents something special about your waters. It's something small that means something big. Anyway, that's what I have for you. Let's go ahead and let's see your signs that you're dealing with during this week. Scorpio, Capricorn, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Okay, that's what I have for you. We'll see when we see you next. And again, keep on checking back, because we will have your September read coming out in the next week or so.